You want to do better with money, but downloading another budgeting app just makes you roll your eyes. You've heard your friends rave about Dave Ramsey, you've seen the awesome stuff Ramit Sethi puts on Instagram, and you've heard me talk about Profit First and Mike Michalowicz. So which system should you pick? What's the best way to handle your money? Hey lovebirds, I'm Dan Hinz and welcome to Adulting with Money, where I help couples unite, not fight over money, whether you want to crush debt faster, buy a house sooner, or you just want to get on the same page. Back in January, my wife and I are walking through the door from a long day of traveling back from Aruba. Our week on the beach was full of eating and drinking and not much else, and I'm feeling like a failure. You see, I'm thinking about losing more weight, and actually I've been very successful over the years of losing weight, but I've also been very successful at gaining it back. And so this latest adventure in dieting and exercising and trying to lose that weight, I am not looking forward to it. And so I use this system called RP, or Renaissance Periodization. Long name, I'll link to it in the description if you're interested. But essentially this process, I eat so much in a week, so many calories, and if I'm losing weight, I get to stay there. If I'm not losing weight, then I've got to drop my calories and my macros. And if I'm not losing weight, I've got to drop it again. I get started, I'm going to CrossFit, I'm working out, I'm following the diet, and with a couple cheat meals. And the first couple weeks of working out are going well. I have some sore muscles, but I'm going every day. And the same pretty much goes for the diet. I'm dropping calories, I'm dropping macros, and I'm getting hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. But I keep with it, I stick with it, and my weight is dropping. Now, the best thing about this time around of trying to lose weight is my gym developed a challenge. If we were working out, we got points. If we were keeping to our diet, we got points. That gamification was helping me out. It was keeping me motivated. And once we got to the end of the challenge, I was proud of myself, and the results spoke for themselves. I lost 10 pounds, but I didn't just lose 10 pounds. I actually gained a little bit of muscle, and so the weight that I lost was fat. And that was a surprise. I have tried to lose weight before, and I'd lost like muscle and fat, but this time around, everything worked great, and I was very surprised. And I went back and I looked at my stats. Like, I wasn't perfect with my diet. I wasn't perfect going to the gym, and it turns out that, here's a screenshot, I was 88% compliant with my diet. And I went back and tracked how often I went to the gym versus how often the gym was open, and it was about 80%. With that level of work and that level of results, I adopted my phrase, my creed of consistency beats perfection. And another thing, I won that diet challenge, and I got me some free shoes. So now you're thinking, okay, what does that have to do with personal finance? How does that have to work with Dave Ramsey versus Ramit Sethi versus Mike Michalowicz? When individuals or couples come to me and they're looking for help with finances and me as their financial coach, I help them with 3 major sets of habits. The first habit is to set goals. If you don't know what you want and how much that costs, it's really hard to put it into perspective. Like, can we afford that goal, or how can we afford that goal? The second set of habits is to track your money. You've got to have some sort of system where you're watching money come in and watching money go out. And I don't really care what that system is. It could be a spreadsheet, it could be a piece of paper, it could be cash envelopes, it could be an app, it could be Quicken or QuickBooks if you're really good at accounting. I don't really care. As long as you're tracking your money as a couple, as a team, as a family, I'm a happy coach. The third set of habits then is to decide on your next steps. Whether that's budgeting or any other system, what we're trying to do is take where you want to go, your goals, where you are, and then what's the next step. And I'm calling them habits because it's not like a step-by-step process that you're one and done. Once you get through the steps, you're done. It's a loop. Is that over time, you're running over these habits. Is that each month you're, what happened to our goals? What happened to our life? What's the next step? Eventually, it becomes like brushing your teeth or playing baseball or riding a bike, is that the more you do it, the more you get used to it. You don't really have to think about it. It doesn't worry you. And that's what I'm trying to do with my clients, is to help them do all those things. Okay, I know you're getting frustrated with me. Dan, get to Dave Ramsey and Ramit Sethi and Mike Michalowicz. Which is gonna be best for me? And my answer is all of them. None of them. They're all the same. And here's why. Because all of them talk about the same thing: how to set your goals, how to track your money, and how to decide what to do next. The important thing, going back to my story about losing weight, is that consistency beats perfection. Honest to goodness, go with your gut. If you're not sure who to go with first, just pick one. Pick a book, read it, learn it, understand it, and do it. And if you are consistent, I promise you, you will be okay, because all three of these books, I've read all three of them, and they're all wonderful in their own little ways. And in fact, my wife and I, we don't follow any of them to a T. I mean, we do things and we have little bits from every book that we read. If we read a different book and there's great advice, we add that to our life. There's no perfect system. There's no perfect way to handle money. There's no right way to handle money. So which one should you read first? Honestly, maybe Dave or Ramith first. Mike Michalowicz is more of a business book, but it goes great, the same idea, with Ramith or with Dave. In fact, read all three, create your own system, and that's gonna be great too. Be sure to check out my video about Profit First. YouTube thinks you're gonna love this video, and thank you for watching. And remember, consistency beats perfection.